This episode starts with Johnny Hithard standing on the porch of his student housing building, waiting on a ride from a friend. See, Johnny has a lot on his mind right here. In the Williams household, it's tradition that right after the Thanksgiving dinner, the Christmas tree is put up and the presents are laid out. So after telling his mom he couldn't make it home in time for Thanksgiving dinner, he surprised her, made it there, and then she surprised him. See, Johnny walked in to catch her crying. No tree up, no presents in the house. That hit Johnny kind of hard. See, Johnny knew him and his family had it tough, but his mom never showed any defeat, and she was the backbone and the strength of the family. Seeing that shook Johnny hard. He could always come back to Athens where he could get away from that and be a celebrity even. I mean, who else can walk off of their porch to screaming fans, ranting and raving about how excited they were when they saw Johnny make a play in last week's game? That's not the issue here. See, Johnny's new friend pulling up in this Bulldog red Lamborghini right here. This guy's the ex-Bulldog, current player, and all he wants to do is be Johnny's friend, or so he says. See, the thing is, he belongs to an agency that's looking for the next big thing, and he believes Johnny's it. So he's somewhat suggesting for Johnny to sign with this particular sports agency. But at the meantime, he's the one guy that Johnny confides in. So on this particular day, with Christmas looking real gloom, he tells Johnny that he has a gift for him. Takes Johnny to this nice house, nicer than anything Johnny has ever seen. And just when he thought that was going to be the surprise, little did he know. Who'd have ever thought the kid that was driving his mom's clunker for a gift in college would get an H2 Hummer on 28s? And if you thought the Lamborghini turned heads, you wait to see the heads and the necks in the neighborhood when Johnny come through sitting on 28s. So of course he pushed it through the hood, to somewhat brag. This is the same guy that had nothing. And at the same time, he knew it was wrong. What's going on, folks? It's Kspadetheprospect, aka the Big Blue Chevy driver, sometimes referred to as the YouTube MVP, and I'm back with another episode of Johnny Hithard. Let me go ahead and somewhat give you guys my apology. I have a target time range that I try to keep my videos in, and this one did run a little longer, so that's the Surgeon's General or whatnot. But it is a good video, and I wanted to give you guys a lot in this one episode, so you've already seen the intro. I don't know, it hints that Johnny may or may not have broken some NCAA rules, and it was bowl season. So this is the SEC championship game. Johnny and his Bulldog teammates are facing the number one team in the nation, the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you guys already know, Bama rolls. So let's jump into the game and see how things goes. All right, so first of all, after stopping them guys on the first possession, a great punt pins them inside the 5, and you really want to get the safety here. So you see, let's look back. Johnny gets in the end zone with the beam on the running back. Looked like you're about to drop this kid in the offensive lineman. I guess that's a great block. When you play in the game, it feels like BS, but I guess it's a great block, I don't know. All right, so second down right here, another stop. Really feeling like the momentum it would be the Bulldogs if they can just shut down this drive right here. Maybe even get the safety, right? 2 points would be huge. So you see Johnny coming up the press on the tight end. Maybe an audible by the quarterback here. Great coverage, seems like for everybody, but the quarterback is able to complete a pass on the opposite side of the field from Johnny. That gets the first down, keeps the chains moving. You hate that if you're a Bulldog fan. When you look back at it, you see him still moving the ball on that same drive. Second quarter at this point, so it's still a scoreless game. Great game from both sides. I don't know, a lot of people like to see the high-scoring games, but this is the defensive struggle that a lot of people really like to see. So with a 0-0 game in the second, still trying to make plays. So you see that play right there. Johnny did exactly what he was supposed to do. He got outside containment. He forced that guy back to the middle. And I don't know how in the hell that pass even got in there. The receiver wasn't in bounds, but he never even, I don't even know. It should have been a pick. All right, so UGA finally gets on the board. 7-0 game right now. A few seconds before the half. And, Johnny gets, I don't know what that is. I guess it's an assistant tackle. I hate that animation, y'all. So right before the end of the half, Johnny gets a pick, breaks a tackle, and gives us another Deion Sanders impersonation as he hops into the end zone for the second score for the Bulldogs. It's a 14-0 game. And it's crazy because that's Johnny's first pick of the season. I was just thinking, like, damn, when is this kid going to get an interception? And then why not wait to the biggest platform of the year so far to get his first interception and a pick six? So I don't know what Nick Saban said to the Tide at the half, but man, that's a hell of a way to come out of the half. First run of the half, first play of the half, should I say, and that's a really good run. 14-0 game still, but the Tide right now was trying to score. Great play by the secondary right there to shut that down, but I don't know what's going on. UGA offense can't get back on the scoreboard, so it's a matter of whether or not these guys can be held. So that's a great play from Johnny. Let's get a second look at it. This time he jumped in behind the lead blockers. Instead of forcing the play inside, he could have went over there and hit one of those offensive linemen and forced the play inside, but that's a gamble. You know, he waited behind the lead blockers and was able to put a big hit on the running back. All seems to be well. Passes caught, but out of bounds. So once again, that's another stop for the Bulldogs. But our offense still don't convert. Still trying to stop these guys. At some point, you kind of feel like, wait a minute, you know, I need the offense to really give us something, just a little bit of extra protection or whatnot. So still a 14-0 game at the end of the third. With the fourth quarter coming up, we're about to see whether or not the Bulldogs can hold on and get this SEC championship game in Johnny Hithard's freshman season, which really would be big, you know. All right, so I don't know what's going on with my offense. Every time I come back, I'm saying Alabama with the ball again. But right here, you see Johnny has a purple arrow. Man, the purple arrow is Johnny's best friend. This time it's not a pass and play, but he's able to tackle the running back behind the line of scrimmage. And this guy actually tried to stiff arm Johnny. Come on, man. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. That's a textbook tackle. So they 3 and out. Let's see if the offense can get on the board. No, they still don't get back on the board. So at this point, it was only a matter of time. It's like playing Russian roulette, man. By law of averages, you knew the Tide wasn't going to get blanked out. And if you watch the replay, I don't know if I'm going to show a replay or not. No, I'm not. But Johnny had the zone over the middle of the field, so Johnny didn't get toasted right there. The cornerback had that zone, and the receiver was just too fast for Johnny to get back and save that touchdown. So it's a 14-7 game. Again, the Bulldogs offense don't put any points on the board, so it's a one-score game at the end of the fourth. Well, not the end, but basically in the end of the fourth. All right, so you see these guys are still driving, and now it feels like a race. I'm just waiting on the clock to run out so I can see Johnny and his teammates get this, and that one right there was Johnny's fault. Caught him creeping out of his zone. I don't know, y'all. The Tide look like they want to push it to overtime. Great drive right now. I guess somebody's sitting there in Buffalo Wild Wings saying they want to see this game keep going, even though Johnny sure as hell wanted to end. And you see the Tide just keep driving. I'm watching the clock and I'm watching this game, and I'm like, wow, I don't know what's going to happen here. So under a minute to go right here. The objective for the Bulldogs is to make sure no one gets behind you. Who cares if they get the first? Just don't give up the touchdown. And that's exactly what they do right here. They give up the first, but they protect the end zone. I don't know. It's going to come down to this right here. So with 37 seconds on the clock, you see Johnny standing on the goal line like, you know, I don't know, like a hockey goalie or something, just trying to make sure nobody gets behind him. A lot of time for this quarterback, and he completes another pass. But still, it's third down and goal, end of the game. Alabama still has one timeout, but a huge play from the Bulldogs secondary, and they just kneel it down. Let's go ahead and take it to the house. So the Bulldogs are SEC champs. That wasn't the most beautiful game. I don't know what happened to the offense in the second half of that game. But at any rate, Johnny Hithard with the play of the game, with the pick six that essentially won him the game, because without that interception and that score, one could assume it's a 7-7 game, right? Or maybe, who knows, Alabama might end up scoring on that possession. So kudos to Johnny and his teammates. That's a hell of a game, hell of a win. Now we got to see what bowl bid they get, and, you know, essentially where they end the year out. So you get a chance to see them hoist the trophy. All is well. Everybody's happy, except for Bama, but we ain't talking about them. Of course, this game takes place in the Georgia Dome, so, I mean, it's a home game for the Bulldogs, basically. You get a chance to see Nick Saban and his team walk off. First of all, I hate Nick Saban because I'm a Dolphin fan, but that's a whole nother story. and we'll get a few looks at Johnny's highlights. But right before this thing ends, Johnny's gonna get some news that's gonna shake up the game. So stay tuned there. But immediately after that game, several sports sources announced that the NCAA is starting to investigate a relationship that Johnny Hithard has with a pro NFL player. Wow, I mean, this kid cannot stay out of trouble for nothing. Great heart, great intentions, but stays in trouble. So now they face the Washington. Do this even sound right? They're facing Washington in the Sugar Bowl. So let's see if all of the media attention hurts Johnny and his teammates, or if he uses it for motivation to play hard. Let's see. I'll catch up.
Rainmaker.